Hi everyone, it's Jason here, and today we're going to continue with our Canberra College Wellbeing sessions on resilience. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into resilience today and see how we can build our resilience. So first of all, what is it? Well, resilience is simply the ability to respond positively to negative events. So it's the ability to bounce back. And if I can use a bit of an analogy, it's kind of like having shock absorbers. If cars didn't have shock absorbers, every ride would be a miserable experience. It'd be uncomfortable and bumpy, and you'd get hurt, and you wouldn't have much fun. It'd be unpleasant. So the ride through life without shock absorbers, that is, without resilience, is kind of the same. So it's something we need to foster and develop. Without resilience, it's not really possible to lead a happy and productive life. So resilience is kind of the opposite of fragility. To be fragile means that just about everything upsets you. And if just about everything upsets you, you're going to spend a lot of time being angry and hurt, and you're not going to get much joy out of life. So how do we build our resilience? The first concept I want to show you is the idea of the resilience donut. This is developed by clinical psychologist Lynn Worsley. And the idea here is to pick out your strengths, where you're doing well, and that can kind of help foster or help you build your resilience. So there are 7 different factors in the resilience donut, and I'd like to go through them briefly with you now. The first one there is parents. So whether you have strong and effective parents. Are you loved and supported, but are there still kind of firm boundaries in your household? That sort of thing. The second one there is skills. So self-competence and self-confidence. Are there things that you feel that you're good at? Do you feel good about yourself and your ability to complete tasks? The third one there is family and identity. So whether you feel connected to your family and your sense of identity through your family. Number 4 is education. So positive connections and relationships during the learning process. Do you enjoy your school? Do you enjoy the learning, the classes you're in, the teachers you have, all that kind of stuff? Number 5 there is peers. So positive social and moral interactions with peers. Do you have good friendships? Are you in a good friendship group that's respectful and supportive? Number 6 there is community, where the morals and the values of the local community are transferred and you feel kind of supported, like you're a part of that community and you belong there. And the last one there, number 7, is money. So that's the ability to give as well as take from society through employment and purposeful spending. So whether you have a part-time job, whether that gives you some pleasure, and whether you feel like the money that you earn, you can use to kind of enrich your life and the lives of other people. So have a quick look at those 7 and think about which 3 maybe you're strongest in. Which 3 do you feel you have the greatest strength in? Might be that you have great parents or a great friendship group. Might be that you really enjoy your part-time job and the people there. Might be that you love school and love the classes you're taking. So pick out 3 that you think really help get you through. And you might be thinking, well, why don't I have all of these? But what we find is that most resilient individuals have only some and not all of these 7 factors working well in their life. So if you have even just 2 or 3 of those going well for you, that's enough to really help buffer you against some of the difficult kind of negative events that might happen in life. So draw on your strengths. What were your top 3? Note these and use them whenever you can. If you can recognize where your support is and what gives you the ability to bounce back, you can foster that and build that and draw on it when things are difficult. I'm also going to take you through 3 strategies for building your resilience. And these look pretty simple on paper. We've got focus on the good, change your behavior, and ask for help. But sometimes those things can be more difficult than they seem, and they can take a fair bit of practice to get better and better at. So the first one here is focus on the good. Okay, building gratitude. The possibility for things to go wrong is infinite, definitely. And sometimes we focus on that. We have a bad day and all we can think about is all the ways that things are going wrong and will go wrong. But the possibility for things to go right is also infinite. So it's a matter of kind of reframing your thinking, and that can take a bit of practice. But start kind of flipping the coin and thinking about all of the ways that things can go right, all of the way that things could turn out really well. that kind of involves this, stopping this process of preparing for the worst all the time. We often prepare for the worst case scenario and we just kind of hope for the best, but we're not actually doing anything to bring about the best. We call this ruminating, where we think over and over again about these negative future events, and that just produces stress and anxiety. What if this happens? What if that happens? Those what ifs don't actually do anything to solve the issue and help you in your current situation. Building a sense of gratitude is fundamentally important to having resilience. Gratitude is pretty much our kind of key positive emotion. That's the one that helps us appreciate our lives and what we have. And you can't be a happy person if you aren't grateful. In fact, there isn't a single ungrateful, happy person on the planet. So building that sense of gratitude and appreciation for the good things in life will help buffer you against some of the bad things. When you focus on your problems, you kind of create more problems. You kind of give your problems energy in a sense. So you've got to stay solutions focused, basically. Have to focus on solutions if you're going to overcome negative events. And that kind of leads us to the second strategy, which is changing your behavior, okay? Taking productive action. You've got to channel your energy into productive action. Sometimes when we're struggling with something, we kind of get in this state of mind where we start whinging or complaining, and that's fair enough. That's definitely, at least initially, a nice way of coping, kind of venting about the problem. But pretty quickly that has to turn around into some kind of productive, positive action. When you whinge, you just kind of encourage other people to whinge and you entrap yourself in this situation. You get pulled into other people's conflicts and problems and you get sucked into that drama and that negativity. Whether it's a friend calling to complain about another friend or some troll baiting you on social media or whatever it might be, you jump right in because surrounding yourself with other whingers makes you feel like less of a whinger, but really none of you are doing anything to solve any of the issues that you're facing. So you've got to be solutions focused because thinking into other people's problems prevents you from bouncing back from your own problems. Have a think about what could I do? What actual steps could I take to address this issue and to change the situation? And that leads us to our final strategy, which is asking for help. If you've got a plan for how to address things, for how to solve a problem, you may not be able to do it on your own. So asking for help is a really key element, a really key skill, and it takes practice. Asking for help takes energy and courage. It can be emotionally draining. So you might have to start small and then kind of build up from there, but definitely asking for help can make a huge difference. And sometimes we kind of think, well, that makes you weak to ask for help. But in fact, asking for help makes you stronger. But there is a caveat there. It makes you stronger only if you are the hardest working person in the partnership. Okay? Asking for help and then leaving it all to somebody else, leaving it to somebody else to solve your problems for you, that doesn't show strength and that doesn't build resilience. Asking for help is when you've got the courage to get somebody's support, but you still have the courage to be held accountable and to work hard at the problem yourself. So we've got 3 strategies there. If you can focus on the positives, develop a sense of gratitude, okay, understand what's great about your life and what possible positive outcomes you could have, you make a plan and change your behavior, take productive action rather than just complaining, and that if you need it, you step up and you ask for help. Be courageous, but also be a hard worker. Work at your problems, and that's how we build resilience. If you've got any questions, feel free to contact me or have a chat. I hope you found this interesting, and thank you very much for listening.